got the all-new Cadillac OPTIQ in coastal blue.
This one or Lyriq? Here we go, Andrew. It's a little slick out here.
It's a little slick, but
no problem.
No problem for this electric vehicle.
Okay, so we're going to get into, we like to say what's under the hood, but in this case, because it's electric, what's under the floor of this thing?
Well, there's only one option, and it's all-wheel drive. It gets 300 horsepower and 354 pound-feet of torque. It has an 85 kilowatt-hour battery with 486 kilometers, 302 miles of range, and this OPTIQ is made in Mexico.
Oh, amigo, dos cerveza, por favor. That's all the Spanish I know.
Not much.
All right, let's get into what do you get with this? What are the key standard features?
The base trim comes with a 33-inch diagonal LED display with Google built in and navigation, a wireless charger, 19-speaker AKG sound system, a fixed full-glass roof with shade, leatherette upholstery, 8-way power driver's seat with power lumbar massage, driver's seat memory, 6-way power passenger seat, heated front bucket seats, a heated steering wheel, auto sense power liftgate, and Super Cruise.
So here's my take on this, Andrea.
Yeah?
Other than the stupid door handles, it's not a freaky deaky EV. When you drive it, you go, yeah, it's the new Cadillac. I kind of like it.
Hey, it does a lot well. Not only does it look great, but it's very comfortable. The seats are comfortable. The ride is comfortable. You get that instant acceleration. Everything that you would expect from an electric vehicle. It has a ride and handling suspension, which is tuned for comfort.
And it's a Cadillac. So because it's a Cadillac, you get nice stuff. The inside is beautiful. We're going to touch on that in a moment. And really cool, unique, different textures and materials used on the inside. So just let's break this down a little bit, Andrea, because it is kind of confusing. At General Motors, they have the platform they use, but they make a slightly bigger one, which is called Lyriq.
That's right.
And that is shared basically with the Blazer, right?
Yeah.
At that size.
Yes.
And then the slightly smaller one is this vehicle on basically the same size as the Chevy Equinox EV.
That's right.
So it's not that much smaller though. I'm here to tell you, I think this is going to steal sales from Lyriq. Why would you get that? It's basically the same car.
Well, okay, compare the Equinox and the OPTIQ compared to the Lyriq as well as the Blazer. So you're getting more front row legroom. If you're a taller person, that might be
Andrea,
a better option for you.
I've got my seat here. I can't, well, I don't have the longest legs in the world,
He
but
does
I
not.
can't even touch the firewall. I'm not even close to the firewall. I got
Okay.
about 6 inches to go.
That makes sense, but you're
and-
not, let's say you're not 6'5" or 6'8".
Yeah, but the interesting thing is with those vehicles, the roof is low. The roof is low on all of them.
That is true.
Yeah.
So rear seat legroom, you're going to get more in the Lyriq and the Blazer, but cargo space, not much more
Yeah, this is-
between the larger vehicle and this.
We do the whole back seat thing.
Yeah.
I'm just here to tell you, the back seat on this thing is enormous.
Yeah.
I think what you can't capture on camera is those are probably wider, but I just don't see there's much in it. I just don't see much in it between this and the Lyriq. I would get this.
Plus, this is priced really well. Cadillac went in competitively for an all-wheel drive model. Electric vehicle, good range, good power. Steering feels good. It's not too light, and the turning radius is terrific.
Interestingly, we had a dinner with the head of Cadillac in Canada, and Cadillac is one of the fastest growing luxury brands. And I think a big part of it is because they have an electric portfolio. They've got the big Escalade we drove recently. The Lyriq has sold incredibly well. I think this is going to put the hammer down. Now, granted, the electric market is not massive because rebates have gone away. But I think for somebody that's in this snack bracket anyway, they'd be quite happy to pay for this. And I'm here to tell you, buy this, don't get the Lyriq. Save some money. Even Cadillac people want to save money.
Well, and the Cadillac executive even said, we're really proud of the products that we're putting out. And I get it. These are great electric vehicles. Zach, I got a fun fact for you.
Well,
we like a fun fact,
Good thing
right?
I got my seatbelt on. Go for it, Andrea.
So when we picked up the vehicle and I was taking pictures for Instagram, I noticed this 500 E4 badging.
Yeah, so it says 500 E4 in the back. E4, I'm guessing, is electronic four-wheel drive,
You
right?
got it. That's an easy
Yeah, it's
one.
an easy
but
one.
why the 500?
Because it's
Well,
more than 400. Less than 600.
Okay, are you ready for this? So
Yeah.
this has 354 pound-feet of torque.
Yes.
If you put it into Newton meters, it's 479. So Cadillac just rounded it up to 500.
That's a stretch. That fun fact is okay. All right, we'll go with that.
I think it's a fun fact.
How they
I was
come up
curious.
with the naming for cars, that we could do a whole week-long show on that, Andrea.
We
All right.
could.
So let's get into the way that it drives down the road, because you've got a big ass heavy battery underneath. So a lot of the attributes are the same for electric vehicles. Quiet, you would guess that. Cadillac is even better because it's got more insulation, a low center of gravity, but it's all how it's done together. For me, the brakes feel like a normal car. The steering feels like a normal car. It feels to me like a normal car.
Yeah, and we've been in some electric vehicles where the brakes are quite mushy, like Mercedes-Benz. That is a typical trait that we've complained about. That's not the case with this electric vehicle. And then when it comes down to that instant acceleration, there's a viewer who commented on Instagram that they drove the OPTIQ and they just felt like it wasn't enough power.
Okay.
Are you kidding?
All right, just don't go yet. Don't go yet. We got to do our shtick.
Okay.
Okay. What are we going to put it in, Andrea?
Well, you got to put it in S for subscribe, and if you can hit that notification bell, you'll be notified when all of our reviews drop, and then you can watch them.
And we do this, the Cup of Car Review, twice a week. The first one drops on Wednesday.
We put another one out on Saturday.
Okay, so make sure to like and subscribe. Now you're mad
here
at
we
We're
go.
kind of, well, yeah, it's totally fine. Like I don't
know how much more power you need.
well.
I mean, look at me. I got a Volkswagen coming up
no,
here.
it's a Gulf R. You're passing a Gulf R.
I'm having a hard time actually keeping within the speed limit here.
You're not even anywhere near the speed limit.
No.
You're way over.
Way over.
Okay, so I would disagree with that comment. I want to get into now, Andrea, the way this thing looks.
Sure.
Same as the Lyriq being more expensive. I think this one looks better, and it all comes down to the back. I think the back of the Lyriq overall, I think, is a great looking car.
Yeah.
The back of it, maybe a little hearse looking, some people have said. This one I think looks way better.
Proportions are great. I mean, it has a real presence on the road. People are looking at this vehicle, whether I'm driving by and they're walking, or we're at a stoplight and they're looking over at it. Like, what is this woman driving?
How come you get that? Whenever I drive one of these press cars, I never get anybody.
What's
I think it's
that?
the pretty privilege, Andrea.
I don't know, but Zach, I don't know. People are looking.
I think Cadillac, okay, I'm just going to say it right now. I think General Motors styling right now is at a particular high point.
Yeah.
Look at that Cadillac CT5V Blackwing, Andrea.
yeah.
Is that just one of the hottest looking cars on the road?
It sure
like
is.
They know what they're doing there.
That's a fave of mine. Anyway, I like the athletic and sporty stance of this OPTIQ. It gets 6 inches of ground clearance, and it comes standard with an illuminating grille. You've got the illuminating emblem, door handles, power folding exterior mirrors, 20-inch wheels available, 21-inch wheels, and a variety of different color options, and a tire repair kit. If you want to up the sportiness of this model and you want more black trim, go for this sport trim, black exterior accents, black wheels.
Available features on the outside, a lot of them surround headlamps. You can get the automatic headlamp leveling, LED choreography capable tail lamps, slimline LED vertical headlamps, which we have on this luxury 2 test model, and a black roof. Well, you have a look at this interior. This is what Cadillac does particularly well. The level of materials, the fit and finish in here is really as good as anything in the industry. And I love, Andrea, you can go back years, and I've talked about putting cloth on the dash, and they're using it more in cars. This looks fantastic.
And just making a comment on, I think that this is better than some of the industry EVs out there. I agree with you with the fabric, and not only that, it's a thicker fabric. I think it's going to hold up quite well.
It's not hard though.
It's not hard, but it just feels like it's got a great texture. The color that they went with too is not going to show a ton of dirt, and I like that they carried it through to the floating center console.
It's the coolest thing.
But they put a plastic cover on it.
What I love about the car industry, one thing I love is when somebody comes out with something that's so simple.
Yeah.
And you go, why didn't somebody else think about that? Putting plastic over the cloth, so if we spill our coffee, we would never do that. It's not going to wreck it. And the only thing I can think of, Andrew, is if you're somebody that drives with your arm like this on the, that might, but I think this kind of material is meant to get cleaned regularly, and it shouldn't, I don't think it's going to be an issue. And then you get the other contrasting materials. So you've got this white plastic, which is something we haven't really seen before. Beautiful speaker covers, stitched and cut. It looks really good.
Yeah, and I like that this white trim. It kind of looks like a piano key. And what they've done is they've carried it over to the doors too. And then all of your storage, whether it's the door pockets, which are quite wide, or at the center console, is all lined.
Yes,
I mean,
felt lined,
yeah, just such a nice touch to it. Here at the center console, this storage is not very wide, but it's deep.
Yeah.
And there's a tray, and that is where your wireless charger is.
Okay, one thing I will say about the Lyriq. The Lyriq actually shocked us. If you want to, tell you what, I'll put the link right here, and you can go and watch that. We did it about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, and the interior on that is a level ahead of this.
Yes.
I think comparing that one we had to this one, but I like this one's kind of funkier. It's a little bit more youthful, I think. I'm, like I said before, I would be more than happy to drive this.
Hey, we went through all the standard features. This thing is well equipped. If you just wanted to go with the base all-wheel drive model, why not? Keep your price down. It comes standard with this screen. It's Google built in, easy enough to use. We're Android users.
Oh, I was just going to say our hot topic is
Apple CarPlay. So stick around for that. That's coming up. This is a fixed glass roof, but it does have a shade. And I just think overall it's comfortable. It has lots of buttons. Not everything is done in the screen. You've got your HVAC controls underneath the screen, but just like Mercedes-Benz, they have put heated, ventilated seats and all of your power controls for the seats on the door.
There is a bit too much shiny hard plastic in here for my taste on the doors and around those seat controls. Other than that, it's kept down to a minimum. Oh, the steering wheel as well. And it has a steering wheel similar to like the last generation GTI or Golf R wheel with the haptic stuff. There is no perfect car, Andre. Like you have to give some, take some. I will take more. I think this is giving more than it's taking away.
I think so too, but you're right about the piano black. I'd love manufacturers just to eliminate it 100%. There is one feature that I am kind of missing on this model. There's no rear wiper.
Okay, so I'm driving. It is raining today, and I have no problem looking, but they do have the digital rear view camera, which I personally don't like because the focal length is weird. But yeah, like I said, there is no perfect vehicle. All right, let's get into all the available features. You can add a head-up display, ventilated front seats, 8-way power passenger seat with memory, massaging seats, 126 color ambient lighting, heated rear seats, remote keyless entry, and a remote start. Because this is built on a battery platform that is long, you get lots of legroom. Here's me getting in the back. There is an enormous amount of legroom. Actually, not bad headroom. You have an armrest there. You can stretch out. How does this thing stack up?
Comparing the OPTIQ to the Audi Q4, the Cadillac gets 41.6 inches of front row legroom and 37.8 inches of second row legroom, which is a little more than the Q4.
And then lifting up the power liftgate, you just hit the Cadillac crest and it pops on up. You see a very useful cargo area. Under the floor, there is no spare tire. Andrew mentioned that already. That's where you're going to have a place to store your charging cable.
Space behind the second row is 26 cubic feet, and overall cargo space, 57 cubic feet, very similar to the Audi.
Okay, we teased it a little bit earlier. There's no Apple or Android included in this head unit, so we'll tackle that after your questions.
Time now for questions, coffee, and cars.
Your questions from Instagram.
Does the all-wheel drive feel more like a rear-biased all-wheel drive version, or has the cheaper platform caused a dilution and tend to bias front-wheel drive? This is a front-biased all-wheel drive system.
Well, it's 2 electric motors, and you can see under the hood, there's no frunk.
Nope.
It's just full-on control module and the electric motor back there. I'm okay with that. Listen, it's I haven't really noticed, to be honest with you.
No,
It just
me
drives
neither.
what we've talked about already. It just drives like a regular car. Well done, Cadillac. Did a good job.
Yeah, it drives like an EV. Everything that you would expect from an electric vehicle.
What I'm
It's
saying
well
is,
done.
if you're coming out of a gas model into this, it just drives like a regular car.
Mm-hmm. When you test EVs, where do you charge them? Well, Zach has set up a deal with our neighbor.
Oh, I was going to give a much better story as that I'm downstairs in the basement on a bicycle, pedaling hard. Our neighbor down the laneway, we live in an old neighborhood. Our house is over 100 years old. And because of that, we don't have the charging infrastructure yet. We'd have to redo our panel, run submarine cables back and forth. It's going to be a big expense, and I don't think it's really worth it. Our neighbor, however, has just built a new laneway house. And our other neighbor brokered the deal and said, oh, you should go talk to the guy down the road. He's got a charger. So I went and talked to him, and then we just pay him per session. It's worked out really, really well. He's got an e-tron, an Audi
He does.
e-tron.
He's got an Audi. And it's
a little,
fantastic.
And a little Jack Russell dog. So it's all good.
It's all good news for us. We don't have to go out and charge it.
If you want to get a question in, make sure you follow along on Instagram. It's Motormouth_Andrea. And you also get to see what's going on behind the scenes. For me, it's Motormouth_Auto. And the links are below the like button.
I wish manufacturers would just style electric vehicles like regular gasoline ones, just like the electrified GV70 or the Macan EV. They look traditional, but happen to be electric. Just my take. You know, one of the things that I don't love about electric vehicles, and it's the same with this one, these door handles. I just want a regular door handle. So I agree with you on that. But overall, I think that the styling of this actually looks really good.
I would totally disagree with the question. I agree with Andrea. The real tell are the door handles. Other than that, if you just said this was the new Cadillac XT5 and it's more modern looking, people would go, okay, that's. I don't think it looks too weird, this one. And now it's time for our hot topic. What's this one, Andrea?
This would have been a great choice for us, but I refuse to go without Apple CarPlay.
Riddle me this, Andrea. What is the best-selling electric vehicle brand outside of China?
Tesla.
Does Tesla have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto?
They do not.
Do you think that stops people from buying a Tesla?
Not here in Vancouver, I can tell you that.
So I don't think it should stop you from using this, because the apps they have in there, you can simulate all this. You can use the apps, you can use the maps, I should say, your music, your phone, everything is going to work.
You know, we did, I can't remember if it was the Equinox EV or the Blazer EV where we talked about this, but we have a viewer who bought one of them, and he is an Apple user. And he said, you know what, you get used to it, and it's really not a big deal. It's a good system.
How 5 years ago did we get by without all of these things? I don't know how I'm going to get by without my Apple and Android. You will get by.
You will get by.
All right, let's get into the vital stats of this OPTIQ.
Let's start with pricing. We'll do Canada first, and then we'll move on to the US. We're using MSRP. The base model starts at just under $63,500, and the top Sport 2 trim is just under $67,500. In the US, the base trim starts at just under $53,000, and the top trim is just over $55,500.
You get a standard 11.5 kilowatt onboard charger, available 19.2 kilowatt charger. With the standard onboard charger, you can get up to 127 kilometers or 79 miles in as little as 10 minutes, with speeds at 150 kilowatt DC fast charger. With a level 2 charger and the base onboard charger, you can charge 53 kilometers or 33 miles in an hour. You can also use the Tesla Supercharger network with an available NACS DC adapter with speeds up to 250 kilowatts or more. The OPTIQ also has vehicle-to-home capability. Towing capacity is 1,500 pounds, and the warranty is 4 years, 80,000 kilometers, or 50,000 miles. Lightning round, two things we like to see improved.
I'm a big fan of the AKG sound system in all Cadillac models.
I'm a big fan of this interior.
What I'd love to see added, if possible, is a rear wiper.
I'd like to see just regular door handles. This thing is very well done. The price is good. I think it's going to sell way better than the Lyriq. So there it is. It's the new OPTIQ.
OPTIQ.
I know. It's the OPTIQ from Cadillac. What do you guys think of that?
Thanks for watching. And if you like what you see, subscribe. We'll see you next time.